capacity, compute power is completely exploded, which enables these new algorithms, which again is another pillar of the AI world. Is there's been a ton of advancement, and as a result, a lot of interest, and they're actually seeing real results. And then the third is the data. So it's not AI for AI's sake. It's like, what is the problem we're trying to solve? And I think that's where a lot of the conversation today resonated with folks. It's like it's not just about technology anymore. It's you have to have a real value in what you're trying to get at. And I think that's also where I always come back with it's about understanding the use cases. And there's some organizations that can afford to acquire the talent that can actually really make a difference. And then there's also leveraging, I'll just say, vendors or services that say, look, we're great at image recognition. Well, that's a problem solved. Why don't you just tap into their APIs or their service and figure out how to apply that and provide a new value add to your organization? The example I used is a solar panel company having better insights to their prospects. So if someone comes up and says, hey, we want to buy a solar panel, and they just give you the address, you'll get a lead score, if you will, that's lower than it should be based on potentially really knowing the client. So if you want to find out, to get a higher lead score, they say a peaked roof versus flat roof makes a difference. So you can leverage like Street View to get the image. Like it's an API, it's available to you, and then run a little bit of image classification, which will tell you whether or not the type of roof it is. So just by giving an address, I now can actually go out, reach out, understand what that house looks like, and then again, for the AI lead scoring, we can say, whoa, we know that makes a difference, and we can give it a better rating, which then drives your sales team to actually follow up on the leads that matter. And to me, like one of the comments around the table was, why don't you just ask them if it's a flat roof versus peaked roof? Well, the reality is getting leads is not a science. Not everybody gives you all the right information. So it's really just saying, look, there might be value. Are there things we can do to augment the data, make the data better in an automated fashion, which then will help move the needle from a value add perspective? And I think the education piece is really the role of the CIO now. It's like, how do we start connecting those dots with what the value the business is looking for, potentially new services based on some of the advancements and new technologies that are available? And I think connecting those dots is really empowering people to come back with I'd say a business case that can not only operationalize or give some efficiencies, but also these are potentially new revenues or potential for services that you can offer to your clients. And the reality is competition now comes from everywhere. Everybody's, you've got these massive digital first players, whether it's Amazon, Google, et cetera, that are basically looking for new revenue opportunities. And there's very little financially stopping a Google from becoming a bank. So if that's what you have in the back of your head is like they're really good at data, you need to figure out how to be good at data and provide services that are going to add value, quite frankly, not necessarily just to your business, but to your customer as well.